Okay, I could just say that it's nice to work with you in terms of like new, like kickstarting a project.
Yeah,
I think whenever you're starting, whether it's a part of your strategy or whatever, whenever it's like when you're starting the
yeah,
project, then it's best to involve you guys. And the resources you have on your website, on YouTube, like even if someone is like leading the strategy,
yeah,
they assign these contents to be read and used by the junior professionals
yeah,
are very easy to use while you're guiding the project. The junior specialists can read these contents and like kind of get familiar with your vision.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
That's
so the two things that I could definitely like reference, like new partners or like new clients of yours, would be that if you're starting a new project,
yeah,
kickstarting something and you need, I mean, so far we've kind of worked only with SEO.
yeah.
But maybe if in the future we can use some other of your services. So far, I can definitely say that if you're kickstarting a project where SEO is the major part, I could totally refer to you guys and I could totally tell them to use your services.
Okay. Yeah,
And
no.
and also the second highlight, I was thinking right before this call, I was like, I have many ideas, but like these two were the first things that came up in my mind was the references that you have,
Yeah,
the all the content that you have, and the videos that you like so much, which I understand is a very strategic move. It's a great move that you're doing, not only because it's authentic, but also the longer you keep people on your channel, it's
well, thank you. I mean, I enjoy video, and it seemed sometimes it frustrates some people, but overall, I just felt it was a better way to just communicate the message more effectively, and and then made it easier if you needed to pass it on to someone to say, look, if you don't understand the document, just watch the video.
yeah. Also, yeah, it's nice to have these guiding contents while we're doing something. It's nice to have the FAQs. It's also very important. It's like almost we don't have to interact, which I understand you like to do anyway, but it's almost like there's no need for follow-up questions, which is the best for a new project because there's no time to just like go around and ask questions. It's like you give us the frequently asked questions right ahead.
Yeah.
So that's very helpful for a new starting project.
Oh, brilliant. No, thank you. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. And
I think this feedback would be in place for both of the projects that we've worked on before. So we kind of, oh my God, it would be like 2 years we kind of know each other.
yeah.
So yeah, so in these 2 years we've worked on these two different projects, and so far I can say that in both of the cases, kickstarting something and also using all your resources has been very helpful so far.
Okay. No, brilliant, brilliant. And how has it been in terms of communication? And let's talk a little bit about challenges. Like, how have you felt we've dealt with things when you haven't been happy, right? Like, just off air, you said that this is a challenge. Has that? How have you felt? How do you feel we deal with that? Because you're a business that's very direct. If there's things that are a challenge, you're open to talk about them.
The challenge would probably be the maybe the time difference or trying to get or like maybe needing a call all the time
Mm-hmm.
whenever we think we are trying to communicate a message. That would be my challenge. It has really like it doesn't have to do something necessarily with you or your service, but once in a while when you're working with a freelance agency,
Yeah,
an outsourced agency, that would be the challenge in general.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
Sure that the times like you have a meeting, I have a meeting, or like do we have time to meet up, and also the challenge would be even though I trust your I mean judgment, but would you be able to fully pass on to what I thought is the problem with one of your team
Yeah,
members? So the fact that we are not in touch with them directly,
yeah,
maybe would be so far it's like I haven't had that problem, but
yeah,
now that I'm thinking is that that could be a challenge.
yeah, yeah,
So instead of involving you all the time, maybe be able to address all issues with them.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but as you said, because of the whole remote thing, it's very difficult to make sure that everyone's on the same page at all times,
yeah.
because it's not always the case.
And how has it? you of course have been exposed to lots of freelance and remote relationships, whether it's SEO or different companies. How do you feel that? How do you feel that we've compared to other relationships that you've had with people that you've tried along your professional journey?
Well, the fact that it's been 2 years and we're still doing something, it's like a positive thing that we've had a project, and we can say that the project, I mean, it didn't fail really, but there were some mishandled parts of that project that really didn't influence your work, but it kind of influenced the overall result, we could
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
like the like our satisfaction and your satisfaction probably with your work. So I'm learning from that and still trusting you. We're trying to amend these onto our current project.
yeah,
So yeah, I could say that even though there were some things that weren't handled very well from our side on the past project and maybe from your side, we still trust your judgment and your vision in the future projects. That's why we still chose you. So obviously there could be challenges at any time,
yeah,
and challenges that we faced in the past project where just like regular challenges that you could totally face with any freelancer, with any agency, especially working in teams. It's very challenging. So
yeah,
my advice would be to have a dedicated person from the client's point of view,
yeah,
that one dedicated person who has to know everything, who has to keep track of everything,
yeah,
so that all information is shared through that one person,
yeah,
so that person will be the main point of contact for all stakeholders,
yeah,
that all the threads that you keep, all the information that you guys keep, even though you could put everyone in the copy, not everyone will be able to read all the emails.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's very
So
true.
whenever I think you should probably suggest that, like, right in the beginning to your clients, that hey, could you please provide us that one person who's going to be the main point of contact, and please make sure this person is available at least from
Yeah,
a time, and obviously not at all times, but available at your disposal. I think that would be very helpful, because in the past project that was one of our main problems, that there were so many people, so many questions, that some of the questions were duplicate, like you're still asking me the same question, but now I have to respond to two different people
yeah, yeah.
in your point of view. So in
Okay,
our case, in the current project, I've learned from my
it's
previous.
a lot simpler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I definitely think that if we look at the last project as compared to this, the great thing now is that when there are challenges like the no index thing, it's much easier to identify, and then it's like, okay, this is the problem.
Yeah,
Great,
yeah.
let's fix that, and there's not a huge kind of mess attached to it, and that's been really nice from our side as well.
Yeah, and also it's like it's um, I don't know, the English word would probably be the approachability.
Hmm.
Like I don't worry to tell you, like, oh guys, I think we have a bottleneck, or like, I'm sorry guys, we're missing something. It's like a two-way street. So I am very confident to tell you, like, we had this major problem, like for a week we couldn't have solved it, and it wasn't our fault, but here we are
Yeah,
blocking the progress of the project. So it was very okay for me to tell you, I'm sorry guys, but we have a bottleneck, so let's work on it. Or like, hey guys, like, it's like we're very it really comes from the client's point of view as well. Like, the client has to be open to accept criticism, and also like be able to provide feedback. But from your point of view, you were so far been very approachable. So whenever we have any even little like comment, we just like give it to you. So then you handle everything, which is it's like very professional. I think everybody should work like that.
has it not always been like that in the past when you've had challenges with relationships with third parties?
Sometimes, because you can't see the person, you can't interact with them, they don't know your tone or whatever, it might come off as rude, or it might come off as like I don't know, because just because you're the client, you're kind of being like rude to them, or
Yeah,
like you're. So yeah, I have had some challenges because I'm also myself a very like frank person.
yeah,
So I just say, I'm sorry, are you like, have you really thought this through before saying this? And this is just like me asking, hey guys, have you done the research before you came up with this idea? And I think it's a fair question to ask from the client's point of view. There have been some feelings hurt, which I'm trying I'm doing my best not to do, but still, because you don't see the person, because they don't know your face, they don't know your approach, they don't know that you're kind of coming from a very tense project-wise. You're trying to make deadlines meet, and obviously them as well.
Yeah.
In your case, because you guys work as a team, and it's like it seems like your guys' approach is kind of like universal in this case. It's like you're positive and you're doing this. It's like you're all Deepak, like what I'm saying, because you were my point of contact. And when I think of Mayor or like any like Ian, even though I haven't seen his face, because it's like you all have the same approach to the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very confident and comfortable to tell you things and like provide feedback and also accept feedback from your part.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate that. I've always just wanted to be in a place where I felt like a client could be honest with me. I just felt that even if the project, that would just ensure that the project would have every chance of success, that when all cards are laid on the table. And it's a style that we have internally, which is, of course, why I'll share your comments directly with the team and say, look, this has been the feedback. How can we do better again and learn from, your constructive feedback? So for the benefit of the people that are watching, is there anything else? Last question. Is there anything else you can think of that you think is worth referencing? Keeping in mind, this is for someone who's probably doing due diligence on Pearl Lemon before they decide whether they're going to hire us or another agency.
I could say that before they start, or even when anyway, ask questions. This is my advice. The last final comment would be, even before they start or while they're starting or they're already got your services, it's okay to ask questions, because no partnership can be eternal, and it's they're not hiring you for the whole life of their project.
Yeah.
While they're working with you, you guys are very open to teach while you're doing this. So as long as they ask the right questions, and you guys will provide them with the right content and with the right resources. So I would say that they should just openly, and you might get clients who have no idea about SEO or lead gen.
Yep.
So especially for them, it's like they have to be very open to ask questions, and you guys are very open to answer these questions. So I would suggest your clients to ask as many questions as possible, like how to kickstart the project, what happens, what's their roadmap, and just ask questions about every single step. It would take off a lot of weight from your shoulders, because they will know what they're getting into from the and they won't have any surprises in the middle of the project, and kind of the blame would kind of shift on you. So it's they have to know the answers to all their questions, even if they're stupid questions. Really, in SEO, it's everything changes so fast. Whatever they ask today might not be relevant to tomorrow, so they could really ask questions all the time.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, thank you so much, Lucy. That I really appreciate the feedback, and I just say, guys, for anybody that's watching, the reason I wanted to reach out to Lucy is because of her style. She is very frank and to the point, and she'll really say what she means, and she's never, in the time I've known her, which I admire about you, you don't dress things up to make them something that they're not.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's we have this saying that I say it in England, but just in a book that I read that we use internally, that you shouldn't kind of try and turn a dog into a cat, because a dog is a dog, and it's nothing else. And you've got that matter of frank style. This is what I think. This is a challenge. How can we address this? And I think it's a really constructive way to try and move a project forward when there are challenges. And I really appreciate that about you.
Thank you so much as well.
That's it.
Okay.